Are you an artist having trouble with your works? Maybe you don't have the motivation to start a new project. Maybe you can't find the inspiration to get new ideas. Maybe you feel your art is not good enough, and maybe you feel like giving up. In this short visual novel, you encounter Ena Shinonome from Project Sekai Colorful Stage. As you talk, she tells you all the ups and downs of the artistic process everyone goes through. Knowing the reasons you create and do art and re-evaluating your goals is the basis for understanding why we sometimes feel incapable of working on something. Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and well, you already know what we are playing when it comes to what the game's about from the description. How to art with Ena Shinonome. We'll be talking about art today. Something I'm definitely not like a person you should be talking about with. That's why we have Ena here, I believe. So let's get to it. How to art. You find yourself in the same place as before. In front of you is still the same black canvas that you've been looking at for a while. You have a pencil and brush in hand, but you just can't give a first stroke. How should I start? Exactly what should I do? Will it end well? These are thoughts that go through your head and make you doubt if this is even worth it. In the end, you decide to give a few strokes with the vague ideas you have in mind, but almost immediately you erase them, feeling that they are not good enough. The time passes slowly. Oh, would you look at that? It's the usual visual novel thingy that I pay attention to. Clock that doesn't have indicators. Why is it always like that? The orange light of the sunset seeps through the windows of the classroom, signaling at the end of the day is approaching. You start to get anxious as you listen to the ticking clock. You wonder, how does it tick exactly if there are no indicators? And watch the seconds go by without anything happening. And you wonder, how do you see the seconds go by if there is no indicator? Perhaps it's time to end for the day, even if nothing has been achieved. Would it be better to give up? No? Don't give up, man. Come on! What had once been a clear sky soon turns into a cloudy one as raindrops are heard. At first they are few, but soon the noise they generate is impossible to ignore. It seems that the universe itself cried in shades of grey. As you prepare to leave the classroom, you hear the door opening. Someone's there. Someone you know well. Alright, now I should point this out. The voice will probably be completely inaccurate. But, well, who can blame me, huh?
Huh, let's see. I'm sure there must be some art supplies here I can use.
She's a cutie, by the way. The girl turns around and sees you.
Oh, I didn't see you were here.
I see something is messed up with the font. Ena? I probably should not go with first name, right? Shinonome-san?
Yes, it's me, Ena Shinonome. We're classmates in our class. Anyway, what are you doing here?
Important decision, right? It's nothing.
Hey, your face tells me that there is something wrong. You should be more direct if something is bothering you.
Important decision. Well, I'm not really sure what to do, you know.
Hey, I see. You're drawing, creating something, but you don't know how to start or what to do. I understand. I've had that happen to me several times. Well, it's not like I want to help you or anything, but I know how it feels to be in that situation. So, if you want, I can give you a hand so you can understand what you're feeling now, and maybe you'll be able to overcome this problem.
Oh! Thank you, Ena!
Hey, don't thank me yet. First, let's do what we need to do. Well, for starters, why don't we talk a little bit about art? Drawing, painting, even writing, composing music, editing videos.
Thank you! Even though I'm crap at that, but whatever.
Just creating anything. Even like the crappy videos that guy PolishLynx makes.
Oi!
It's a wonderful thing.
Ena, you didn't have to add that part about me.
Striving.
She's totally avoiding the me over here now, pointing that out.
Striving to do something and express what you feel in a piece, so that others can experience it and feel the same. It's something amazing in many ways. However, this creative process is not without its ups and downs. There are times when you really want to create something but don't know how to do it. Or there are times when you would like to start a new project but you don't find the willpower to start working on it.
If you think I'm not going through that from time to time when doing YouTube, you are mistaken. But I'm able to brute force myself.
It's completely normal, and I'm pretty sure this has happened to everyone at some point.
Yeah, multiple times.
As I told you, I myself have gone through moments like this. Times when they criticized my art and they discouraged me from continuing to draw.
Yeah, that would not work on me.
Times when my way of doing things did not reach my ideals.
Actually, critiquing me would just piss me off and I would push even harder. That's how it is with me.
And times when I felt unable to find a way to move forward, I mean. Still, with all the pain and effort that went into it, I managed to overcome it, so to some capacity, and now I want to keep improving on what I do, because that's what I like to do.
Oh, nice.
It's for this reason that after these events I decided to do some research on what made me feel that way. In order for you to understand that sense of inability, of not being able to do what you want to do, it's first necessary to reevaluate the reasons why you are here now. So tell me, exactly what problem do you feel you have? What's worrying you the most? Do you not feel motivated to draw? You can't find inspiration for your work? Or you don't know how to execute the idea in your mind?
I have no motivation, I can't find inspiration, I know the execution, I think I'm an art block. I don't know. It seemed like... It's not like he didn't, or should I say I didn't have motivation over here. Because... clearly would not spend basically entire day in this art classroom. If I didn't have motivation, right? I can't find inspiration. That kind of checks out. To be inspired by something to draw. You definitely didn't have inspiration, yes. Or should I say I didn't have inspiration in this case. Wait, no. I didn't click anything. That was a mistake. I don't know the execution. I'm not sure what exactly this is supposed to mean. Because that kind of sounds like you don't know how to draw in general. That sort of thing, so I don't think that is the case. I think I have an art block. I guess this might be possible. And I don't know. I'm thinking either inspiration or art block in this situation. At least how it was told to us already and so on. Let's go with inspiration, I feel like. And now, will you be my inspiration?
You can't find inspiration. Huh, I see. You really want to create something, and you also have an idea of how to create it, but as for how the work should be is where you find a stop.
I don't know, maybe we have an idea, yeah.
Try to draw again, and it seems like it's always the same.
That's not exactly what was our problem, yeah, in the end.
And as hard as you try, you can't come up with new ideas.
Yeah, this one.
It's when you feel you should be working on it, but you don't know which direction to take. I see. I understand a little better what you're worrying about. Even so, each of the problems I mentioned has its own causes, so their solutions are different. In addition, the way in which one individual experiences them can be totally different from another. But in order to better understand your problem and come up with a solution, first it may be good to understand why you do what you do. Tell me, what do you want to get by doing your art?
I want to impress anyone who sees my works and gets a lot of likes. No. I want to create something because I like to do it. I'm not sure. You know what? I mean, this one I can answer myself from the personal perspective. I'm gonna say I want to create something because I like to do it. Same here with the videos, actually. Obviously, impressing people somehow, making the videos about games. Yeah. Do I care about getting likes? Not really. Obviously, it's nice to see that, but do I have that, you know, thinking, that looming feeling behind my hand? Oh, get the likes, this video has to get likes. No, I don't. No, I don't. I feel also that's why I'm still doing this for so long, by the way. Because I just like doing that. And I don't feel like, oh, this video needs to get so many likes. It needs to. No, I don't have that feeling, basically. Anyway, I want to create something because I like to do it, yeah?
Well, it seems you haven't strayed from the path. The love for doing something, creating for love. That's called an internal reward, from what I investigated. It's when you draw because you enjoy it, because you like it and want to get better, and not because you have to, or because you hope to get something superficial by doing it.
Yeah.
In my case, I used to want to be admired, to have my drawings be praised all the time.
Oh, interesting. Then again, with paintings, drawings makes sense, I think. I feel like with videos and so on, you would have that approach as well if you did something of completely different genre than recording video games. Because over here it's more like you play through it, you kind of maybe clown a little bit yourself, kind of act and so on. But it's still a game made by someone else, so I don't think you would be praised for that. You can be praised, I don't know, for voice acting or, I don't know, thoughts that you share about the games or something, but yeah, it's kind of different department over here. Anyway.
This made me feel happy and was largely the reason why I drew. It was the opposite of an internal reward, it was an external one.
Okay.
Soon, and without realizing it, my motivation was based on others liking my art, and I ended up paying dearly when one of my works was criticized and made me lose confidence in my abilities.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? I actually can compare this to something. It's not like artwork or anything. I can compare totally this to football. Yeah. I bet that's the thing for a lot of people. Especially people who are like completely, I would say, maybe not completely, but basically people who are introverted. I consider myself introvert overall, not an extrovert. But basically what I'm getting at, with football, if you get criticized, or like, basically maybe too much, yeah, you might lose confidence overall in yourself and so on. Was it my case? No, as I already said, when someone criticized me, I kind of would get pissed off and would kind of level up, I would say. But eventually I basically started hating football as well, so that's how it is with people. I miss football for but now it's too late. Anyway,
I learned the hard way that the validation of others is not the only thing that matters when creating something. The most important thing should be that you do it because you like it yourself.
Yeah, true. Don't do something you dislike. That's true.
So good for you. But you haven't forgotten this. It even makes me a little bit jealous. So when someone creates something, we do it to get either an external or internal reward. Ideally, the second one would be the best motivation to do things for one's own sake.
That's true. I'm
aware that you can't always do things for intrinsic motivation. For example, when you have to do something for work, it's your obligation, whether you want it or not.
So true. Yes, sadly. Then again, if it's something that you don't feel comfortable with and so on, don't do it.
Even so, I still think it's so important to consider all of this when you want to create something. And since we're on the subject of wanting to do something, it's important to know that there are different approaches to art. Perhaps oneself at the time of creating does not realize it, but usually we do what we do in a certain way. Tell me, do you draw because it's fun or because you want to improve?
Both? I would say both, right? It should be both options. Alright, I'm gonna answer it from obviously personal perspective. I do it for fun.
You do it for fun? Heh. Then what are you doing? But then what you're doing is following a creative process. This approach is more relaxed and does not require much effort.
Ow!
It's just about applying the knowledge you already have creatively and doing something you like. On the other hand, there is the learning process. This one is a bit harder because it requires deliberate effort, studying and being able to put into practice the new stuff that you learn when creating something. Like learning how to draw a specific object, or learning how to use a new tool for your work. However, there is no definitive approach that should be followed to the letter. If you just focus on studying, then you will end up consuming yourself completely, and you may stop having fun creating.
Oh, I bet that's the case for some people.
On the other hand, do not draw without ever studying, or you will remain flat and without improving.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, kind of. You need both fun and development. Yeah. I wanted both options in one answer.
That's why it's best to have both creative and learning approaches in mind, balancing fun and studies. Do something because you like it while trying to improve by studying new ways to achieve it. I think that's a good way to go about what you want to do. So we talked a little bit about what you hope to get by drawing or making art, and about the approach you take by doing it. Now, taking into account everything we've seen, I have one last question. And it will be what do you really want? Some golden dreams or goals to achieve, although I prefer to leave it simply as what you want to do creating. So again, what do you want?
I want to ask you out. Would be hilarious if there is an answer like that. I want to keep creating because that's what I like to do and love to do. I seek to continue learning and improving on what I do to create better things. I want my work and effort to be recognized in what I do. Okay, that's kind of skipping. I might not have a defined goal, but I still want to know what I want to do. But I still want to know what I want and do it. Oh. Should we go with... I'm first or second? Keep creating, because that's what I like and love to do. Seek to continue learning. Again, they didn't give me the option that I would want. So basically, you know, do it and improve at the same time. Let's go with the first option, I think. Keep creating because that's what I like and love to do, yeah.
Well said. I think of everything we've seen so far, that's the most important and something you should never forget. At times like this, when you don't know how to move forward and you feel anxiety and frustration about not being able to achieve what you want, remember this is something you wanted, because deep down it's something you enjoy. Perhaps part of the process of creation is full of pain and suffering, but there is also the fun part and the satisfaction that can be felt. Both sides will need to be tested in due course. In my case, what I want to do is to continue drawing. I want to keep improving and be able to represent with my illustrations what I feel when listening to the songs of the music group in which I am. Thanks to them, I'm able to try so hard. Well, once you have your goal, there is something else I'd like to mention. Obviously, expectations one has are important when creating. However, there are times when we aim too high towards something. Like when we have in mind a large-scale project that will take great work and effort. But it's for this very reason that becomes more likely that you will lose motivation, get discouraged, and even leave your work incomplete if something doesn't go your way. I think it's called the Zeigarnik effect.
What?
However that is pronounced, which refers to the tendency that incomplete tasks tend to occupy our minds more than completed ones.
I wonder if it's a actual thing. Funnily enough, the Zeigarnik, right? Oh, this I think. Zeigarnik effect occurs when activity that has been interrupted may be more readily recalled. People remember unfinished tasks, interrupted tasks, better than completed tasks. Interesting. I will need to read a little bit about that. I mean, technically, she already explained that, but I kinda am interested now. It is from after the Lithuanian guy. Okay, so that kind of makes it reasonable why it sounded a little bit Polish as well. But what I wanted to get it is, I actually don't remember what I wanted to get it at. Well, let's continue.
That's why sometimes it's best to scale down our goals and focus on what we can do in the moment. And as time goes by, keep going step by step with small goals each time until we complete the work we want to do.
That makes a lot of sense.
So knowing what it is you want to achieve, what follows is working hard to achieve it. It's in this that some will have an easier time than others. This is talent, that special ability or easiness of a person to learn or execute a certain task.
Oh boy. A talentless boy over here, by the way.
Some say you're born with talent, others you can acquire it over time. I know what I do know is that if you have talent in what you like to do, it will be much easier for you to do it. I've always said with talent people, as it seems they don't need to work so hard and still are able to achieve amazing things.
Yeah, same here.
Us, who are not born with an innate talent in the things we like to do, will have a harder time.
You bet.
But not because you don't have talent means you won't be able to achieve what you want. The most important thing is still the effort to give to your activity.
Will be nice.
Even with talent, if you don't test yourself and try to improve, then nothing will change. Instead, with talent or not, if you decide and try to give everything to get what you want, then you will surely see the results sooner or later. If you feel inferior and someone says you have no talent, you should not give up. Perhaps it's true that the process to reach the top is full of pain. But if what you want is genuine and you give everything to get it, then the suffering you have to go through is what matters the least of all.
Honestly, what she's saying, read Haikyuu. And absolutely my favorite character over there, follow. The story of his, Oikawa Toru. Yeah. Absolutely. He might... A little spoiler, I guess. He might be seen to a lot of people as a villain, but he's not. And he's an absolute legend. Or more like an absolute representation of what Ena is saying here. Yeah.
At the time, I would have liked to know that. Well, at least now I know, and you must make sure you never forget it. Well, I think we've talked about everything that could be related to what you feel. Everything that led you to standing in front of this blank canvas right now, waiting to be filled with your creation. We saw how it feels when you lack motivation, inspiration, execution, or have an artistic block. About the kind of reward we hope to get with our creations, external or internal. The process we follow when creating a creative one or a learning one. And about the ultimate goal we want to achieve by doing this. Heh, this already looks like therapy. Now I guess it's time to give some recommendations of what to do when you feel trapped in one of these situations.
Yes, please.
My first recommendation would be to take a break. Sometimes not knowing how to continue generates frustration and anguish, or maybe you are feeling fatigued and this prevents you from creating something good.
Funnily enough, I do that sometimes. It's not long breaks, but I do. However, before I take a break, I make sure that I have enough content to, you know, still upload while I take a break from recording. Yeah. She knows what she's talking about.
So taking a short break is not bad from time to time.
True.
You can take the opportunity to consume other media that...
Fuck, I didn't want to click, sorry.
Other media that can help you fuel your creativity, such as listening to music that excites you, watching anime, reading manga, or whatever it was that initially inspired you. Revisiting your sources of inspiration is not a bad idea. Maybe seeing again that work that amazed you at first and that made you want to do something similar makes you feel the same in the present.
Yeah.
I just like to see the art books I've stored. I always marvel at seeing the illustrations so well done. You can also revisit your old projects and see how far you've progressed over time. You might even want to fix or improve something you've done in the past when you were less experienced. Or on the contrary, you can look for new sources of inspiration in new works that you haven't experienced yet. Although you may not need any of these, sometimes we get inspiration in the most unexpected moments. Such as when you're on your way somewhere in transport, or when you're not paying attention in class, when you are doing nothing and suddenly you come up with the best idea for a drawing.
And then when you get to draw, you forget?
Don't look at me like that. It's my fault that these classes are so boring! Anyway, another idea that you can do in this break is to present what you have been working on to your friends or people you trust. They can give you tips on what to do and even show you a different perspective than yours. Of course, it should be mentioned that not because you take a break means that you should completely stop doing what you were doing. Not that you could... nor that you should continue procrastinating and avoiding starting or continuing with your work. That's why my next recommendation is the opposite of what I just said. Instead of taking a break, it would be best to start working on your work once and for all. As I mentioned before, you may have this great project in mind that you came up with, but you just fantasize about doing it and eventually just do nothing in order to accomplish it.
Makes sense.
In this case, as simple as it may seem, the best idea is to start with it. You don't have to start big, so doing a part is enough, and the next few occasions you can keep it up, until eventually you do more and more until you finish. You can start by drawing one line, another the next day, the day after that another, and then you will want to continue to do more, so you end up drawing several lines, then even more. And then there comes a point where you concentrate so much on what you want to do that time passes without you noticing. To maintain this consistency, it is a good idea to make a list of small goals to achieve for the day or for the time you dedicate to your projects. Again, it doesn't have to be anything too complicated. The mere fact of doing something and crossing it out to continue with what follows is enough to make us feel good and that we are making progress. Man, humans are so easy. And if you feel that way, that what you do is still not up to your expectations, then it's time to study what's difficult. Sometimes it's even necessary to go back to basics, or try to work with the most complicated stuff. It doesn't have to come out good at first. Little by little, you'll get better over time if you try hard enough. The idea is to just start. Whether it ends good or bad, then you can improve it in the future. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it will always be better than if you do nothing in the first place. Finally, there is what we just did, re-evaluating your goals. Knowing why you do, what you hope to get, and if you really like what you do. Maybe something you believed in at first has changed and is now generating this problem. So it's important to know what is bothering you and try to change it to take back or take a new direction in what you do. Of course, this depends on the type of person you are. Some people are better off resting while others are better off starting to work. At the end of the day, if you want to change, most of it falls on what you're willing to do. You and just yourself. But if you feel you can do it alone, then there's nothing wrong to ask for help from those who can support you in some way. That's why I'm here!
Sorry for shouting that one.
To be honest, I saw you a while ago. Before entering the room, I saw you seemed to be struggling to start drawing, and for a moment I saw in your face a look that I want to give up! Of course, I couldn't ignore that, so I decided to go in and try to help you with the knowledge and experience that I have in the subject. I'm not sure, but I hope this worked and that what I told you might be useful.
Thank you so much, Ena. Should we go? Let's see what's gonna happen if we go with that. I love you, Ena.
What? I guess you said it and I really helped you. Well, I'm really glad I could help you. Hey, while we're at it, maybe it would be better to hang out sometime.
Hell yeah!
I've been wanting to go shopping for a while.
Actually, you know what? I think men overreact in general. Going shopping with your lady is fun. And if you say it's boring to you, then there's something wrong with you. Just, don't treat it as shopping. Treat it as spending time with the girl, okay? And you'll be fun.
And it would also be great if we could get to eat cheesecake or pancake.
How about both?
It's not a date or anything.
Too late. I already considered that.
It's so that maybe you can find your source of inspiration, or you can just take a break. You deserve it after working and trying so hard all the time. So yeah, we should decide on the date later.
So it's a date. Okay. No, she means exactly what day, but I would still tease.
Because now it's already a little late, and I still have to work on the illustration for a new N25 song.
What?
Okay, then I guess this is goodbye for now. I hope my words have been helpful, and I hope you never forget them. Whenever we make art or create something, we'll find difficulties and struggle along the way. But this never means the end, if you know, well, what you want and are willing to strive and give everything to get it. Of course, for each person it will be a different story. Some will have a harder time than the others. Even so, there is no reason to never try. I hope you can work hard and be able to get what you want. If you ever go through the situation again, don't hesitate to let me know. You can always see me again if you need a refresher. I also try to do my best. That's the way I do things. Well, see you later.
And the grey sky from the earlier disappeared, letting you see the world bathed in the color of sunset. What are you going to do now? The answer is becoming clearer after that talk. At least now we know one thing well. You're not giving up. After all, she never did. The end. Replay the game, end game. End game. I've never seen that. Replay the game, end game. I don't think I've ever seen Oh no. I mean... Yeah, I don't think I did. I'm not sure. What else? How to work with Ena Shinonome. Made by a D1 Kid. Cool game. Cool idea, not gonna lie. I like that. I really like that. I mean, it definitely is a little dive into the problems of artists. And it's not only... artists. I mean, even mine, to be fair. Even for... I don't consider, obviously, the stuff I do as art or anything like that. But it can hit you. Yeah. The feeling of not wanting to record in another video or something like that. But, well, I'm capable of dealing with that. I'm capable of dealing with that, luckily enough. So it's not an issue over here. As I said, and as an asset as well. Just sometimes you just need to take a break. Yeah. Now that might be surprising because the videos are out so often in a way. It seems like I'm not taking breaks or anything like that, but to be quite fair, there has been multiple times when I took a break, was not recording, sometimes even for a few days, but that also meant I had enough content ready for that period of time, basically. I guess it still is like that. Like, for example, from... Let me have a look at the calendar quickly. From 1st of May until 5th of May, I was actually not recording at all. Might be surprising, but it is the truth. I did edit a few videos, but that's about it. I did not record a single thing. I'm recording on 6th. On 6th, and I've kind of recharged. I am kind of recharged, I would say. Also, because let's have a look at... this is the third game, technically, that I record today. Sure, they are all around half an hour long. But, you know, it's 3 videos still. And I feel recharged. I want to record more now. I want to burn myself out. No, I don't, but it's fun. It is fun. Ena overall knows what she's talking about in case of kind of creating creative work, basically. I imagine it's kind of similar as well. I mean, similar. I imagine it... Yeah, it is kind of similar to what I do, basically, here on YouTube. And I said, I do that for fun, in a way. Because it makes me enjoy... It makes me have fun, basically. With that being said, link to the game description. We're going to end it here. I'm gonna say what the line that I don't really like saying, but whatever. Consider liking the video. If you're new around, subscribe. That would be super appreciated if you did, of course. And I'm gonna end it with a message of, if you do some creative work, keep at it. Keep at it. It's worth it if you enjoy it. As long as you enjoy doing that, it's great. And of course, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.